Hello, welcome to Rockshire Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we are going to be looking at the design diary for a new game coming out to Kickstarter later this year, sometime from CMON. We are going to be looking at that design diary, like I said, for Zombicide White Death. So let's go ahead and switch things around and take a look. So that's right, we're going to be taking a look not at a book, but at this webpage here for Zombicide White Death Design Diary number 1. Welcome to Wintergrad. This was posted on March 9th, 2023. This Kickstarter was announced, I believe, on March 3rd of 2023, adding in essentially a third season to the Zombicide fantasy line. I Disclaimer right up front, I do not own anything from the Zombicide fantasy line or any other true Zombicide game. The closest I own is the Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, currently own. I do have the Kickstarter for Marvel Zombies proper on its way. That'll probably be here in the fall, I would assume. They say late summer, or they say sometime in the summer, but it'll probably be fall, especially if the shipping for that game is anything like the current Masters of the Universe shipping. Yeah, we're going to have some problems with that. But anyway, so that is going to be my disclaimer for this. Don't currently own any Zombicide. Know people who have most of it. But yeah, so we're going to take a look at, in this video here, we're going to take a look at the design diary that I have up. I don't know why I look over here because my screen with that information, my monitor is over here, my other stuff's there. So point. Anyway, so we're gonna be taking a look at that information there, and then I kind of want to compare. If you saw any of my Marvel United videos going over the various updates from the Kickstarter, you do know I kind of tend to go through and compare this campaign to other campaigns. This campaign hasn't even started yet, but it'd be cool to kind of look at estimating what we're going to be kind of looking at before the Kickstarter even goes live, kind of what we're estimating we're going to be looking at. So let's go ahead and get to it. So, Zombicide, White Death, Design Diary number 1. Welcome to Wintergrad. This is written by Nicholas Rault, one of the designers, and let's go into it. He's talking about in here the frozen landscape of Wintergrad. Talk a little bit about what to expect from this triumphant return to the Zombicide fantasy line. Zombicide family, whose family includes Black Plague, Green Horde, and its many expansions among the most beloved versions of the game. Until very recently, Zombicide Green Horde was CMON's biggest Kickstarter campaign, having raised over $5 million. I'm pretty sure I don't have the tabs up anymore. I don't have the tabs up anymore for it, but Marvel Zombies did about 9 million, I believe. Ironically, not that many more backers than Green Horde, if I remember correctly. I don't have the tabs open in front of me, but they had very similar backer numbers, if I am remembering right. But Marvel Zombies, especially when you got that Galactus pledge and everything in there, it just blew everything out of the water with that one. But we digress. It is still, to this day, one of our best-selling games in the stores around the world. So a new game, I know I'm making everyone sick with this highlighting. So a new game in this era will have big shoes to fill. So while sticking to things the players love about this medieval fantasy land, we also wanted to introduce new things, meet new characters, try different mechanics, and explore different parts of that universe. Enter White Death. Now, before we get too far into it with this one, CMON has on their I believe their Instagram and their Twitter pages and whatnot, all their social medias, they have shown images of various characters and some of the walkers and zombies and whatnot that they are going to be introducing into the game. First of all, and I'll kind of see if over here I can post the pictures in post. But they do have the walkers. Walkers are slow, stupid, and easy to put down, but can endure this battle. In the vast horde but can we endure this battle in the vast horde that follows? That's one of the things they posted on their Twitter, showing these walkers right here with their medieval armor garb and whatnot. So new set of walkers to have to contend with. One of the other things they posted was a new sorceress figure, Sarnai. I believe that's how you say their name. And it says she's a sorceress, great in potential, has an affinity for cryomancy. So I'm assuming cryogenics, all that stuff. It's going to be ice-based abilities, which is good because we are in a frozen environment in this new game. So that is her right there. And then let's see, the next thing they posted was Dragomir, a new um, archer type character. The write up for him is his skill with a bow knew no equal in Wintergrad. He could and did bullseye a fly on the tip of a spear with from 200 paces. Zombies are simple by comparison. That is until I start rolling dice. And it also says expect that there are a lot of them. So he is going to be our new character, and then they have another character that we'll kind of talk about more in the dev diary. So let me make sure that is true. Yes, we're going to talk about him in the dev diary. So next thing we're going to talk about right here, far and away from the western sunny towns we saw in Black Plague and Green Horde, we reach the cold besieged city of Wintergrad. In this faraway land live many creatures that the survivors of the western border would think are only legend. Sorry about all that. White Death introduces intelligent humanoid animal hybrid species. And then we're going to meet Lorna from the mystical canine people called Kenshaw and Ugon, one of the Karnra, the cat people. They don't have any sort of special rules. Players have to remember they are just cool. I was talking to a buddy of mine today who does own, I think he just owns the core of Black Plague and the all-in Kickstarter for Green Horde. And I was double checking with him, be like, are there any animal characters in the game? He said there was none. I even looked at the Kickstarter earlier, didn't see any animal specific survivors in the game, but this is a shot of our two Ugon and Lorna, our cat man, tiger man there, and our canine companion, not companion, canine survivor right there. So that is what we've got there for that one, and we'll go a little bit more into this. In Zombicide White Death, survivors cannot flee anymore as the city is surrounded by zombies. They have to resist, which is a different take on the Zombicide theme. The new setting introduces a snow-covered urban area with medieval ramparts with corresponding special rules. Now, one of the things I do want to mention there, they've kind of talked about it a little bit in the various Twitter posts and whatnot, but this game is going to be very different from regular Zombicide games. Again, my main knowledge of Zombicide, having played it personally, is from Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance. I do have more Marvel Zombies stuff coming. Who knows when it's going to get here, like I said. But even in that game and the other games I have looked at, glanced at, and prepped for this, it seems like the majority of the games are going to be where you fight the zombies, you go for various objectives, and then from there you find an exit. You exit out of the map, out of the level, out of the world that you're currently in, so that way then you play on the next mission. This one doesn't seem like it's going to have that, or if it does have that, it's not going to be a main game mode. It's this new almost like survivalist mode. Almost seems like a horde mode from like Gears of War or something like that, where you're just possibly coming after waves of waves. I guess this is kind of a, what could this be kind of video, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see future dev diaries where they talk about what is it that they're going to be bringing to the game that will allow us to find out like what's going on with this whole survival mode. Are we gonna have an exit at all? I mean, like, we're basically just resisting the zombies. What is that gonna look like? Is it gonna be like a point system? Do we hit so many zombies? Is there like a specific abomination or some other creature that signals into the game that, kind of like with uh, Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid. Yes, you have all the putties coming out, and or whatever the minion figure that you have in there, and you spawn two monsters in the middle of the game. But as soon as that boss comes out, you are rushing that boss essentially and trying to take her out to win the game. So is Zombicide going to go with that, where either the abomination or some other creature throughout the course of a mission is going to be what's going to signal, hey, we're over with this because we took out the main boss of this map, of this mission. So now everything else will basically just say that like the castle guard took care of the rest of the zombies, kind of thing, or how they're going to work that. Be interesting to find out. Again, hopefully they come out with more of these dev diaries prior, to the Kickstarter launching, whenever that is. And I'm assuming we're in March right now. I would not be surprised if this didn't launch by May. But yeah, we'll see if it's gonna be May. Anyway, so that is that. So we've got our medieval ramparts here. So next paragraph: huge walls separate the board in several areas, preventing free passage for the survivors and the zombies. These ramparts can be climbed upon using either stairs or rope ladders. Players can move and fight on battlement walkways on top of ramparts. So I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do some of this, because we are basically, even though it's 3D miniatures, we're still on a 2D board. I know Undead or Alive does have some where you kind of walk upstairs and you have some like line of sight perches and stuff like that. But and I haven't played through that. I just know from where we were going through the rules and the tiles with Jake's copy. But wondering if they're going to do any kind of other like 3D terrain or anything like that, especially because we have all these walls around the city and everything. Be wondering how we're going to, and potentially scaling walls and that kind of stuff. So be interesting to see how that goes. Zombies, as mindless as they are, cannot use rope ladders. So again, that 3D that 3D vertical stuff there. So to get to the top, they have to use stairs. Occasionally, however, a special zombie siege card allows zombies to climb and cross ramparts in a fit of rage. Also, undead as they are, zombies standing on top of battlement walkways can harmlessly fall to pursue their prey. So if you are on one of those higher positions, it looks like you're going to be able to get down. You probably have to use stairs, but the zombies are just going to jump down, possibly making it to where they're going to catch up with you faster. So we'll see how that goes. But the survivors also get some new tricks. They can find cauldrons to place on battlement walkways and throw hot tar on zombies below, eliminating everyone there. And finally, for now, being in a winter-themed environment comes the perks. The new freeze mechanic allows survivors to temporarily immobilize zombies. So I do have to wonder if that freeze is going to be from a sorceress character like Sarnay, or from some other aspect. Are you going to be throwing water at the zombies? I do believe there's just water in, I know, like Undead or Alive, and the holy characters can make it into holy water. But are they going to be able to just throw water and freeze something, or freeze the ground and, like, I don't know, have some pratfalls with the zombies? We'll have to see. But last thing here, now that you've met Wintergrad, but that's not all. Now you have met Wintergrad, but that's not all that's coming in Zombicide White Death. Stay tuned for the next Designer Diary, when we'll explore a few more new things players can expect to see. So that's it for the diary itself. So let's kind of look at another aspect of this. So again, I do not own any of the medieval Zombicides or any of the Zombicides. There are things I do look at on Amazon every so often of whether I want to get one, like the cores, which I might get the cores just to have them, and not necessarily just to have them, but to play on the channel, and just to kind of experience it, before this one comes out, kind of to see if I want to get it. I could wait for Marvel Zombies proper to come out. I like the Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance game, but I do want to play an actual Zombicide game prior to this one coming out on Kickstarter and basically coming and going on Kickstarter. And again, with other things that I have, even from CMON on the way and things I do own, I am not sure if I need to have this game in my collection. I currently, as far as CMON games go, I do have most of the animation collection, the Looney Tunes portion, and the Scooby Doo portion. Haven't just because of timing and whatnot. Doing a lot of more Marvel United content, obviously, for the channel with some other things sprinkled in, but I haven't actually gone through all that content yet. Even Marvel United, I haven't gone through all the Marvel United content that I have owned for quite a while yet. So I've got that. I've got Masters of the Universe coming sometime. The shipping on that is who knows what's going on with that, which is unfortunate. But I've got that game coming. I've got Marvel Zombies coming later this summer or into the fall, or if, like I said, the same shipping company is doing Masters, then probably in 2024. And then Marvel United Multiverse coming in 2024 at some point. So I do have myself a lot of CMON games coming out, plus other games that are behind me that I haven't even touched. Power Rangers, haven't touched that. I've played through the core box. I've been purchasing a lot of stuff for the game. I basically have everything. I have new stuff on order from the new I can't even remember what it is that I ordered. But I do have all the new stuff for that on order. But like I said, I haven't even played through that. I'm trying to see what I own that I haven't touched. Terraforming Mars, the Ares Expedition, haven't touched that. Paint the Roses, haven't touched that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on my wall that I haven't even gone through. We have other cases of board games in the house that we've gone through plenty of times. But do I need another? Heck, I think you can even see right here, right here on the screen. I've got Gloomhaven and Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. Haven't touched that, and I have Oathsworn coming at some point. For some reason, I decided to buy that. And yeah, I've got a lot of things coming through Kickstarter. Do I need another game that I may not get through? And do I need to buy all of it? Let's kind of look at what's going on here. As far as I did start a spreadsheet. I'm not going to post on it here because it's all kind of haphazardly built so far. But I had one of these kind of built with a whole lot of information from the X-Men campaign, carried that over to the Multiverse campaign. And so if we do cover this campaign on the channel for White Death, I will go into more detail with this. But from cost standpoints, what I kind of want to look at in this video, this is kind of a also should you buy everything, I guess, video too. Kind of like me, if you're looking at this and being like, oh my gosh, I just spent all this money for Marvel United. Do I want to go into another CMON big game with this? And that's going to be kind of up to you. I myself, looking at this without going into the campaign, and this being one of my first CMON games, or not CMON games, CMON Zombicide games, the core box is probably going to cost you somewhere between $100 and $150. Not going to lie. The Black Plague and Undead or Alive and second edition cores were all $100. Green Horde was $120. Marvel Zombies was $130. I don't even know how much Invader was. I don't know how much all the original Zombicide first edition stuff was. But yeah, those, like I said, somewhere $100, $120, $130 is what you're going to be buying for a core. The original OG Black Plague, when you bought everything, and that was with the Wolfsburg expansion, that was with all the various dice sets, all the different tile sets, all the guest boxes. There were 10 guest boxes apparently in that campaign, all of them being about $20. That game, from what I can estimate, came out to about $570. Green Horde only had the one core pledge. It didn't have a bunch of other tier pledges. But if you got every little thing that came in that game, and that's like all the extra doors, all the um, extra base token things that went on there, all the extra dice sets, everything, you were still in for about 475. Second edition, two different numbers for that one. If you did the presidential or the all-in, the all-in included all the RPG stuff. So if you wanted all the RPG stuff with it, you were at about $575, $572. If you did not want the RPG stuff with everything included, all the little bits and pieces, you were at somewhere about $500 from what I can tell. Undead or Alive, same thing. They had a core pledge for 100, a steampunk pledge for 140. They had an all-in pledge for 240. But even then, you didn't have everything. And I'm talking about if you got the extra tiles, you got the extra dice, all that stuff, you were in for 326. And then the bane of a lot of people's financial existence, Marvel Zombies had 5 different pledge levels, and none of the 5 pledge levels actually got you everything that was offered. The original pledge was 130. The core box with the X-Men core box was 240. If you then added Galactus to that, that pledge level was 410. If you just skipped Galactus and got everything as far as all the expansions, you were at 430. You were still missing boxes from that. And if you went for the Ultimate Galactus pledge, the Hunger pledge, I believe it was, that was $615 on its own. Did not include the plastic tokens, the extra tiles if you wanted those, and an extra set of dice, which you don't really need anyway because there's a lot of dice already in that game. But that brought you up to $685 if you went for everything in that game. So these games can be expensive. So again, I am going to look at some more of these design diaries and see how the campaign goes before making any major decision as to whether or not I want to go in for this game. I didn't look through all of the other Zombicides. I wasn't really back into board games at the time those came out. I did a big giant gap of not buying new board games just because of having kids and job changes and stuff like that, and some personal stuff going on in our lives. So board games for a little while were not a priority, but getting kind of back into the hobby and whatnot, I did go through the Undead or Alive. I think I talked about in another video, either Marvel United X-Men or Masters of the Universe was getting ready to come out, I believe, when Undead or Alive was finishing. Like, it was already known they were coming out, but I think one of those projects got launched immediately after Undead or Alive came out. So it's one of the reasons I didn't get Undead or Alive. I followed that campaign all the way through the end, all the way to seeing that Cactus Queen. And I was always on the cusp of buying it. And I wish I did still, but alas, at least I know some people who have it, so I can play it whenever they're available. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be following this campaign, doing the channel and everything. We'll probably be doing some more videos on it. Don't know if it's going to be as extensive as the multiverse campaign videos that we did, but we'll see. I will probably do between now and then some research, getting some stuff organized for that. But yeah, so I am actually though excited about following this campaign, at least seeing what comes out. Like I said, the different games, may not be my cup of tea, but it is someone's cup of tea, and who knows? I might be changing flavors of tea. We never know. But anyway, that is going to be this video here on the first dev diary and kind of my thoughts and perspectives, and a little bit of financial warning for people. If you made it all the way to the end, it's 25 minutes as far as filming before editing on here, but that is going to be it for this video. So please make sure that you are subscribing to the channel. As of right now, I think we're only at 96 subscribers, so I'd love to try to get to 100 very soon. And so I need you guys' help with that, but also make sure to like this video and hit the notification bell. Let you know when I put out something else. So yeah, so that is going to be that. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in on this one, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.